Across history, some moments were never meant to be filmed.
As vanished Babylon and goodly Tyre, so shall they also vanish.
Hidden cameras have captured secret rituals, mysterious gatherings, and unsettling ceremonies. These people have risked their lives to record what was never meant to be seen. Secret ceremony. A short, disturbing video circulated online, allegedly leaked from a hidden location. Footage shows a dimly lit room filled with people wearing dark hoods and robes. In the center, several figures held a man on a cross-like structure, while others raised torches and moved rhythmically, performing what appeared to be a ritual. The video looked authentic and was widely regarded as too realistic to be a staged event. Viewers were divided. Some interpreted it as evidence of a secret society, while others believed the footage was never meant to be publicly seen. The location and origin of the video remain unconfirmed, but the content itself was considered highly unusual and secretive. Hidden ritual. In 2023, a group of night explorers came across an old, deteriorating building during a late-night excursion. One room immediately drew their attention. The door was slightly ajar, and a faint light flickered from inside. Peering in, they observed 4 candles arranged neatly on the floor, surrounded by symbols drawn carefully around them. 2 robed figures stood perfectly still nearby. The scene did not appear staged, but rather deliberate and organized. Those who later viewed the footage reported a sense of unease emanating from the screen, while the explorers themselves felt a heavy, oppressive atmosphere, as though they had interrupted something meant to remain unseen. Mormon secret temple. In 2012, a man named Mike Norton, known online as New Name Noah, did something that stunned both believers and outsiders. Using hidden cameras, he secretly recorded parts of a Mormon temple ceremony, something that had never been seen publicly before. The footage revealed scenes from what's known as the endowment ceremony, a deeply sacred ritual within the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints.
The person is then brought to this point, whereupon the Lord puts forth his right hand, gives the first token of the Aaronic priesthood, and asks, "What is that?"
Inside, participants reenact symbolic stories like Adam and Eve's journey while performing gestures, tokens, and passages through veils meant to represent spiritual progression.
"Oh God, hear the words of my mouth."
To church members, these moments are private and holy, but to outsiders, they appeared mysterious and even unsettling. When Norton uploaded the footage online, many called it an act of religious betrayal, while others viewed it as an eye-opening glimpse into a secret cult. Mike later revealed that he had left the church, saying the experience of what he saw inside changed how he viewed it forever.
It is received as left arms are placed upon right shoulder through the veil. The Lord then gives the name of this token and asks, "What is that?"
Monte Rio ritual. In Monte Rio, California, a camper experienced a first-hand encounter with one of the area's unusual occurrences. Awakened by faint noises outside his tent, he quietly climbed a nearby tree to observe. Below, a group of hooded figures moved in a slow, deliberate line, each carrying a burning torch. Their shadows flickered across the trees, creating an eerie, almost surreal effect. The camper remained still, careful not to make a sound that might draw attention. He stayed in the tree until sunrise. By that time, the clearing was empty, but the memory of the scene, figures moving in silence with torches lighting the forest, remained vivid and unforgettable.
O voyager across the sky, thou clear midsummer moon.
CERN ritual.
What?
A video recorded at CERN's Geneva facility gained widespread attention online. The footage shows a group of people wearing black cloaks assembled in a courtyard. At one point, a woman dressed in white stepped forward, knelt, and then lay on the ground, appearing to participate in a ritual. Then the person in the black robe stepped forward, and this happened. It's still a mystery what happened next, and to this day, this footage remains a mystery that people haven't been able to explain. The footage felt too real for comfort. Ohio encounter. One night in Ohio, a man driving past a quiet cemetery noticed a tall figure standing near a gravestone. It appeared to have horns and wore a black robe. Assuming it was a statue, he slowed to get a better look. That's when it moved. Subtly, deliberately, and in a way that seemed alive. He captured the figure on camera, and the clip quickly circulated online. Viewers debated its origin. Some suggested it was part of an underground ritual, while others thought it might be a person in costume. Yet the figure's stillness and the way it turned suggested something far from human. Ritual caught in Florida. An adventurer investigating reports of strange noises in an abandoned Florida house encountered a similarly unsettling scene. Upon entering, the air inside felt unusually heavy, and murmuring could be heard coming from a back room. Opening the door, he found 3 individuals fully cloaked in robes and masks, surrounded by dozens of lit candles. At the center of the room sat a wooden coffin-shaped box, and the walls were marked with upside-down crosses and other symbols. The scene left no doubt that this was not a prank or casual graffiti. Whether it was a cult gathering or ritual of some kind, the adventurer recognized the potential danger and exited immediately. Unnatural patient. While spending the night at a hospital caring for a relative, a man noticed strange noises coming from a nearby room. Peeking inside, he saw a patient standing before a cross, his body twitching in jerky, unnatural motions. Low, guttural noises filled the space. It did not appear to be pain, but something struggling from within. The witness stepped back quietly and left, realizing that whatever was happening was beyond his understanding. Observers debate whether it was medical, supernatural, or something entirely different. Red-robed ritual. A group of friends in Arizona decided to take a shortcut through the woods while driving home. Halfway through, their headlights revealed something unusual. Figures on both sides of the road, standing completely still, dressed in red robes with white masks. None of the figures moved as the car passed. Further into the woods, the friends observed a flame burning in a clearing, surrounded by the same masked individuals who were chanting in low tones. The group recognized that they had entered an organized ritual and quickly backed away before something bad happened. Dark induction.
Hail Satan!
Hail Satan!
This happened sometime in 2018, when a video surfaced online that left viewers unsettled. It depicted a dimly lit room occupied by masked figures, all moving in precise, coordinated motions, as though following a strict protocol. Each person's face was completely concealed, while one individual stood at the center, directing the group with gestures, chanting, and repeated phrases. Initially, it appeared to resemble an initiation, but the atmosphere suggested something far darker. The central figure reportedly insisted the scene wasn't as it appeared, yet every movement reinforced a sense of deliberate ritual. Those who watched it said it looked like an initiation of a secretive cult.
These people are extremists. They're religious extremists.
Utah forest ritual. Two friends entered a forest in Utah, known locally for eerie stories, with the intent of capturing unusual phenomena on camera. After some time, they noticed dim lights flickering in the distance and approached, initially assuming it was a campfire. Upon closer inspection, they saw multiple figures moving around candles arranged in a circle. When they activated their flashlights, it became clear that there were several individuals, all cloaked in black, standing still and staring directly at them.
Hello?
Suddenly, the figures began moving toward the friends, prompting them to drop their equipment and run without looking back.
Hello?
Forest apparition. Two friends tested an app designed to lead users to mysterious locations. One night, it directed them deep into a forest. Initially, the area appeared ordinary, filled only with trees. But they soon discovered a cross adorned with a mask, a doll placed beside an Ouija board, and candles still burning, suggesting a ritual someone had recently left behind. While observing from behind a bush, a tall figure appeared near the candles. His movements were unnatural, and when his head turned in their direction, the two fled immediately. Basement ritual. An urban explorer, known for taking risks, entered a decaying building to document its eerie interior. The upper floors were empty and quiet, but in the basement, the atmosphere shifted. In a corner of a candlelit room, a woman sat surrounded by symbols, performing what appeared to be a ritual. As he lifted his camera for a closer look, she slowly turned her head, her face unnaturally pale and frozen like a mask. He fled immediately, and the footage ends abruptly, leaving viewers to wonder if he escaped safely or left, marked by whatever he witnessed. Forest summoning. While passing by a cemetery one night, a man noticed several hooded figures standing in a circle, chanting softly. Strange markings covered the ground between them. He hid behind a tree, recording quietly to avoid being noticed.
They praying. It looks like they're praying.
Suddenly, one of the figures stopped and slowly turned toward him. Terrified, he ran without looking back. To this day, the identity of the figures and the purpose of their gathering remains unknown, leaving only the video and the heavy silence that followed. Broadcast intrusion. During a live segment on ABC News Australia covering new safety laws for police dogs, an unexpected scene appeared on the screen. For a brief moment, three figures were visible on a stage. One wore a black hood and stood before an altar with an upside-down burning cross. Within seconds, the broadcast returned to its regular coverage, leaving viewers shocked. No explanation was ever provided. Whether it was a technical glitch, a deliberate digital prank, or something more sinister remains unknown. The clip continues to circulate online as an unexplained anomaly. Interfering with ritual. A group of friends thought exploring an old, abandoned house at night would be just an adventure, but it quickly turned unsettling. Inside the cracked walls, their flashlights revealed a small room illuminated by candles. In the center, a figure in a dark robe moved slowly in circles, as if performing a ritual. The group froze, unsure if they had interrupted something private or dangerous. Suddenly, the figure turned and rushed toward them. Terrified, they fled the house. Once the video surfaced online, viewers debated its meaning. Was it a spirit caught mid-ritual or someone experimenting with dark magic?
يا لعين ماذا بك أيها اللعين؟
The Ritual Hill. In 2022, a man set out to film the sunrise from a hillside in Alaska. The view was perfect until his camera zoomed in on something strange below. Three figures dressed completely in white were walking in slow circles around a large pentagram drawn on the ground. In the center stood a man in black, spinning slowly as if performing some kind of ritual. The hiker stood frozen, trying to make sense of what he was seeing. But as the man in black stopped spinning and turned his head, the hiker panicked. He ran back down the hill without looking back once. What stood out most was how raw and genuine the clip felt. Nothing about it seemed rehearsed. It was as if he had stumbled upon something he was never meant to see. Cursed encounter. Locals had warned this paranormal investigator not to go inside. The old house had a reputation. Strange noises, lights at night, and a rumor that no one who entered stayed long. But in 2020, he decided to see for himself what was hiding behind those cracked doors. Almost instantly, something happened. The rug in the center of the room began to move. Not flutter, not shift, move. He froze, eyes locked on the rug, until he noticed her. A woman in a black cloak stood by the doorway, completely still. her presence cold and heavy. Before he could react, her body dissolved into a bright ball of light that shot across the room and vanished into the floor. He ran. Hours later, the house was gone, reduced to ashes as if the encounter had set something off, which made the entire incident so much more creepier and mysterious. Woodland ceremony. While hiking near a cliff in 2021, a man noticed unusual movement in a forest clearing below and decided to film it. The footage showed a large group of people, including children, all dressed in white robes and moving with a rhythmic, ritual-like precision. The scene appeared deliberate and highly organized, giving the impression of a structured ceremony rather than random activity. Concerned for his safety, the man retreated quietly. Once the video went online, theories emerged immediately. Some suggested an Illuminati gathering, others thought it was a KKK-related ritual, and many concluded it was the work of a secluded cult operating deep in the woods. Weeping woman. In China, a man woke to faint crying outside his home one night. Investigating, he stepped outside and saw a woman dressed entirely in white, seated alone on a bench.
Senhora.
Her long hair obscured her face, and her head was bowed slightly. When he asked if she was all right, she did not respond. Suddenly, a loud noise erupted behind him. Turning instinctively, he looked back to find the street empty and the woman gone. Some locals suggest it was an optical illusion or a trick of the night, but others believe he encountered the Weeping Woman, a ghost said to appear before unusual events occur. Mexican curse. A team of ghost hunters visited a remote site in Mexico, long associated with dark legends and warnings. Initially, the area was silent and still. The group then discovered a human-shaped doll tied with thread, surrounded by candles burning low. Whispering voices soon began calling their names from multiple directions. Moments later, a pale face appeared at a window, featuring elongated, hollow eyes, resembling a witch observing them. The team immediately fled. Online viewers of the footage suggested the figure was not merely watching, but waiting, with some believing the ghost had marked the hunters before they even arrived.
Ay, güey, no mames. Ven, acércate.
Ritual circle. Back in 2019, a small team of online paranormal explorers investigated an abandoned shack reportedly haunted. Inside, dim lighting revealed candles, ritualistic symbols, and objects arranged in a circular pattern. As they whispered theories about the scene, something dark suddenly darted across a wall behind them, moving too fast to be human. The team panicked, abandoning their equipment as they fled. When the footage surfaced online, many viewers claimed they could see a face forming in the shadows. Whether it was a witch, spirit, or something else entirely, the shack has remained untouched since. Vanished explorer. While hiking along a remote mountain trail, an explorer followed faint whispers carried on the wind. The sounds led him to a small clearing where he froze. A woman sat cross-legged on the ground, her face unnaturally distorted. Behind her stood two horned figures, perfectly still, as though guarding her. The air was thick and heavy, almost electric, as if something unseen was observing. The man recorded what he could, but the footage was the only trace left behind. The explorer himself disappeared, leaving only his camera behind. Forest cloaked figure. Since 2023, authorities have been searching for a thief in the woods who stumbled across an unexpected sight. Atop a rusted, abandoned car sat a cloaked figure dressed entirely in black. The figure remained completely still, showing no reaction to the presence of the search team. At first, it almost resembled a weathered statue, but the robe shifted slightly, hinting at life. The video ends abruptly, leaving observers with questions. Was it a person hiding, or something else silently observing first? So far, this individual hasn't been caught. Haunted Chapel. A man filming a solo exploration of an abandoned chapel believed he was documenting yet another empty, decaying building. While focusing on a memorial plaque, a sudden sound drew his attention. Through a narrow window, he saw a pale face framed in white cloth, staring directly at him. He fled outside in panic.
What the hell's that?
Oh my God!
Only to catch sight of the figure again, this time standing still on the chapel roof, as though watching him leave. Viewers of the footage suggest that the figure was far more than a simple reflection or trick of light.
Guys, whatever I've just seen is staring, right?
Cloaked figure. At the Titanic Museum, a team of paranormal investigators focused on the iron gates once used to separate lower-class passengers as the ship sank. They asked questions into the quiet room, hoping for any response.
These meters going nuts.
Can you stop for a second?
Can you show yourself to us?
When the camera briefly captured the visitors in the background, a dark cloaked figure silently passed by. No one in the room matched the description. Some speculate it was the spirit of a lost passenger, while others suggest something older, tied to that incident, stayed among the relics.
Can't hear you if you're in there.
Witch and her worshippers. In 2024, a clip surfaced showing what some claim was a witch and her pursuers in the same clearing.
Hola!
A woman cloaked in white was guided by two robed figures onto the ground, while another person dressed in red waved their hands above her, appearing to perform a counter-ritual. The actions were very strange because they suggested a struggle between opposing forces. Viewers debated its authenticity. Some considered it a staged performance, while others believed it captured a genuine attempt to suppress dark abilities. The footage left audiences questioning whether ancient beliefs had literally unfolded on camera.
¿Qué le van a hacer?
Cathedral Spectre. Leo Matthews was filming a cathedral in a small Italian town when he captured something unusual. At first, the footage seemed normal, but upon closer inspection, a faint figure appeared standing in one of the windows. Zoomed in, it resembled a nun, despite the building having been abandoned for years. The image sparked debate. Was it a trick of the light, or the lingering presence of a spirit that had never left the cathedral halls? The clip continues to intrigue viewers with its quiet, eerie mystery. Floating ritual. During a quiet night walk in 2021, a man noticed a faint, flickering light coming from an old, abandoned house. Drawn by curiosity, he approached and saw candles glowing through the window, but no one inside.
哎，屋里边还是有那东西，看着没？
Then came a soft noise behind him. Turning around, he froze. A woman stood at a distance, her figure barely visible in the dark. Before he could say anything, she began to rise off the ground, slowly lifting higher. Terrified, he ran. When the video surfaced online, people couldn't agree if it showed a real ritual or a staged scene. But either way, it made viewers think twice before exploring deserted places at night. Cursed Forest Ritual. A group of friends decided to camp in the Pine Barrens, New Jersey, a forest known for strange legend and paranormal occurrences. For most of the night, everything was calm until an eerie sound echoed through the trees. Following it, they discovered objects laid out on the ground in strange patterns, almost like an old ritual site. The air grew cold, and the trees started to sway even though there was no wind. Then they saw it, a tall figure cloaked in black, standing at a distance. It vanished seconds later. That was enough for them to pack up and leave, convinced they had stepped somewhere they didn't belong. Night Watcher. Security footage from a quiet street captured something that unsettled viewers around the world. Two women were seen walking late at night, talking casually, unaware of what followed them. A tall figure dressed completely in white moved silently behind, its face hidden, its steps unnaturally smooth, almost gliding. The women never turned around, never noticed. When the clip spread online, theories exploded. Some called it a wandering spirit, others thought it was a warning of something darker. Whatever it was, no one liked the idea of being followed by it. Mysterious hideout. For weeks, locals reported hearing unusual sounds coming from the dense forest in New England called Salem Woods. Curious, a group of friends decided to investigate. Deep within the trees, they discovered an open pit, partially hidden by a cloth. When they moved it aside, their flashlights revealed a hooded figure crouched inside, completely still. Surrounding the person were burning candles and a small bowl, suggesting some form of ritual. The atmosphere felt heavy, almost as if they had stumbled into a sacred moment. Later, online viewers speculated the figure might have been a witch performing a ritual, rather than a lost traveler as initially thought. Creepy close encounter. On a dark, isolated road, a couple driving late at night thought they might have struck someone. When they looked closer, what appeared through the cracked windshield was no ordinary person. A dark, unidentifiable shape stared back at them, its head slowly tilting. The woman screamed as the man attempted to reverse, but the figure climbed onto the windshield, pressing closer. The camera footage captured their terrified voices and frantic movements. It took a couple of minutes to finally get away from this creepy individual. Masked walker. There is a road in India, 3 miles northwest of New Delhi, on the outskirts of Sant Nagar. The road leads to a restricted forest said to be haunted. One man decided to drive through that area. The road was empty and pitch dark until his headlights revealed a figure ahead. A person in red walked directly in the middle of the lane, face hidden behind a pale mask. The driver slowed, but didn't stop, too unsettled to look back. The driver had encountered something that wasn't meant to be seen, proving why that area was off limits. He was lucky to come out of it fine. Ritual gone wrong? A woman set up a simple ritual for good luck, lighting candles and softly chanting. Everything felt calm until she noticed a faint shadow moving behind her near the wall.
Baby blue, blue baby.
She froze, the chanting stopping instantly. The shadow vanished, only to reappear seconds later, this time closer and directly behind her. The moment felt unreal and heavy. Online viewers speculated that perhaps it was a trick of the light or a camera glitch, but some feared she had unintentionally called something else into her ritual. Horned figure. One night, a man began hearing strange noises in his home and decided to set up a camera. Hours later, the footage captured something he couldn't explain. A tall shadow standing at the end of the hallway, draped in a long robe. Its shape didn't look human, and it remained completely still and silent. The man mentioned it had appeared before. When the video circulated online, viewers noticed what seemed like horns on its head. Some speculated it was the Goat Man, while others suggested it could be a cult member performing a ritual. Whatever it was, most agreed he had been wise not to confront it. Midnight ritual. The location is unknown, but this CCTV captured a deeply unsettling scene. A woman approached a house and began circling it while sprinkling water around the property. At first, the act seemed strange, but those familiar with occult practices recognized it as a form of black magic, where the water is believed to carry a curse. Following that night, the residents reported unusual occurrences inside the home. The footage quickly spread online, leaving viewers uneasy and questioning why that house had been chosen. Street figure. This chilling encounter happened in Birmingham, UK, when a man heard noises outside his flat late at night and went to investigate. Under a streetlight, he spotted a figure dressed as a nun, pacing slowly back and forth. He called out,
"Hello? You alright? I'm gonna go in and call someone."
But received no response and quickly returned indoors, contacting the authorities. Hours later, he reported the figure was still there, moving silently as if waiting for something. Some viewers dismissed it as a prank, but others described it as an unsettling sign of something darker lurking in the night. It's time for today's subscriber's pick of the day. On 15th July 2000, Alex Jones and his cameraman Mike Hansen infiltrated the Bohemian Grove, a private 2,700-acre campground near Monte Rio, California. The Bohemian Grove is known for hosting an annual encampment of influential men, including politicians, business leaders, and artists. The video showed robed figures slowly walking through a forest clearing at dusk. In the background stands a massive stone owl, nearly 40 feet tall, lit by burning torches and surrounded by glowing lanterns. The participants, dressed in dark ceremonial robes, carry what appears to be a human-shaped effigy across a small lake in a wooden boat. As they reach the other side, the effigy is placed on an altar before the owl. A deep voice can also be heard through speakers, delivering a dramatic monologue about casting off the burdens of care.
As vanished Babylon and goodly Tyre, so shall they also vanish. The wilding rose blows on the burning battlements of Tyre.
Then, the group ignites the effigy in flames, while a booming choral soundtrack plays in the background. Many have said this was a satanic or ritualistic practice, caught on camera, that has never been seen before. After 25 years, this footage still remains one of the scariest, creepiest, and most disturbing videos ever released.